Hello, welcome back to Movie Clip Mania. Today we are going to review the thriller crime movie, The Girl in the Basement. Like and subscribe if you enjoy our channel. A young lady named Marie, who is having breathing hardships, is being snuggled by a lady in the secondary lounge of a vehicle and being hurried to an emergency clinic by a male driver. Subsequent to getting down at the clinic and keeping in mind that conveying the young lady inside, the man cautions the lady, saying nothing but silence. Then, we see a family eating at a table. Ware and his better half Renee are bringing up two little girls, Amy and Sarah. Sarah is defiant and escapes to move at a huge fire with her bike riding beau. He is Chris, and he likewise plays the guitar. He sings Sarah a tune and tells her that he cherishes her. At the point when Sarah returns home the following morning, Ware is pissed and shouts at his girl. He says as long as she resides in his home, she will observe his guidelines. Sarah makes arrangements with Amy and Renee to move out all alone when she becomes 18. Ware hears the discussion and prepares his reinforced hideout in the storm cellar. He intends to lock his girl inside so she can't leave him. While Renee is out shopping, Ware requests that Sarah assist him with moving stuff in the storm cellar. Then he secures her and soundproofs the room. She is in a real sense caught in a reinforced hideout and has no chance to get out. The canister is loaded with clothing. We get a day counter. This is day one of many, more to come. Sarah is living like a confined creature. The keypad has 3 attempts prior to closing down the airflow. Sarah utilizes pots to pee in and makes a move to shout for help and battle to be liberated. Ware tells her that she will procure her honors and is being rebuffed for her way of behaving. Then he assaults his own little girl. Renee thinks her little girl has taken off and calls the police. Ware and Renee talk with the police, who think Sarah is a runaway, and there isn't a lot they can do in light of the fact that she is 18. Day 7, Sarah is wounded and battered. She thoroughly considers of Chris to get herself the injury she is encountering. Unexpectedly, Chris makes an appearance to interrogate Ware regarding where Sarah is. Ware lies and says she escaped with another man named Stevie. Day 21, Ware goes first floor, powers Sarah to put on a red dress, gives her a birthday cake, and asks her what she needs. She says she need to be delivered, to which he says that it is too soon. Then she requests a television, to which he says she needs to procure it. Then, at that point, she requests a clock. He concurs and requests that she draw nearer. Likely she gets assaulted once more. Day 38, the following opportunity he descends, she is prepared and goes after him with a shoddy weapon. A corned hamburger can cover connected to some wood, however he effectively evades the assault and beats her and likely assaults her once more. Quick forward from day 39 to day 354, Sarah is pregnant with her dad's youngster/her sister. She conveys her child with no clinical help or legitimate clinical cleanliness. She is utilizing a nursing book to plan for the child. She names the child Marie. After 4 years, Sarah is bringing up her little girl and she is likewise pregnant once more. They are completely secured in the cellar together and just of each other. Sarah appears to be quieted down and talks with Ware, in any event, offering him tea once he visits. Ware has an advancement and tells that he will have another office. He likewise has given her a few fundamental necessities, for example, a table, pantries, a sleeping pad and so on. Sarah finds out if he could deliver them, to which he answers furiously. Yet, he later furnishes them with a television as a Christmas present. Year 7, Sarah has brought forth a child, named Michael, and all are living in the cellar. The little girl Marie is by all accounts wiped out and were given a few pills, however Sarah says they are not so much for youngsters and doesn't have any idea what the measurements would be. She requests Marie needs a specialist, yet Ware simply leaves. Chris actually is searching for Sarah and shares with Amy the falsehoods he heard from Ware about Sarah eloping with Stevie. Amy concedes that her dad has been oppressive with her mom and figures that Ware did something to her sister. Then she goes up against Ware and blames him for following through with something. Renee needs to go to a confidential specialist, which sets Ware off. They contend, and Ware drops his cellar keys. Amy gets them and noses about the storm cellar, just to be gotten by a forceful Ware. Sarah has her third child, a kid named Thomas, and persuades Ware to leave the child on the doorstep with a note from her requesting to deal with her infant. Ware passes on the child for Renee to find. He finds a more modest note Sarah passed on requesting that her mother call the police since she is caught in the cellar. 14 years. The youngsters, Marie and Michael, are growing up. They have social nervousness from being secured in a cellar fortification their entire lives. They don't have the foggiest idea about how horrendous the circumstance they are in truly is. 17 years. In the storm cellar secure, they notice a break in the roof and begin recovering their direction with a spoon. In the meantime, Renee makes them bond time with grandson Thomas. Sarah goes the entire evening digging. She is likewise pregnant once more. The opening prompts the front yard, and she streaks a light flagging a neighbor for help. At the point when the neighbor goes to the front entryway and tells where, he goes first floor and beats his pregnant little girl, making her lose 18 years in imprisonment, where fills Sarah in about her other child living simply above them named Thomas. He utilizes Thomas to turn Marie and Michael against their mom. They request to be let out, and Sarah can't take it. She blows a gasket and falls on the floor, crying. She thinks about her sweetheart Christopher and the adoration he showed her. Sarah comes clean with her kids about where. The children naturally are overpowered. Marie is asthmatic and experiences difficulty breathing because of restricted air supply in the cellar. 19 years, where boils down to the storm cellar and has a contention with Sarah about apportioning food. Michael flies off the handle and attempts to whip Ware. That main makes him angrier. Over the ground, Ware is struggling by the same token. He continually battles with his significant other, is terminated from his work, and his home is in dispossession. He is worn out on dealing with Sarah and the children and pipes carbon monoxide into the cellar. By keeping the vehicle air vents with a hose while they rest. Thomas gets Ware in the carport and thinks about the thing his granddad is doing. Ware has a shift in perspective and doesn't kill them. He goes to the storm cellar to mind them and we see that they are all right nevertheless resting. 20 years, Marie has breathing issues and has an asthma assault so terrible that she wants clinical consideration. Sarah asks Ware to take them to the medical clinic, and she even refers to him as father. He surges them to the emergency room. It is similar scene we saw toward the beginning of the film. Specialists battle to save Marie. Elizabeth Room plays a concerned specialist and gets some information about Marie's clinical history. Sarah requests to go to the restroom, and Ware will not let her go. She spills water on Ware's desk work and advances toward find support while he gets another structure. Sarah tells the specialist everything. Ware is captured and taken care of forever. Renee is alarmed to become familiar with reality with regards to what has been going on with her little girl at her better half's hand in her own home. The family all move in together. Cruiser Chris appears and takes Sarah out for a cookout. They discuss their high school plans for the future, and Chris apologizes for not putting in more effort to track down Sarah. Then they go for a ride together. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.